hence why it's just us on the call. Do you guys have any questions or concerns that you want to talk about right now while we're waiting on everyone else?
Yeah, because I wasn't sure of what we would be doing today.
Today's, yes. Today is just going to be basically a lot of talking. I'm going to explain kind of what to expect. I'm going to introduce myself a little bit, kind of go over all the little things that I have to go over. So it's a little bit more informative, a little bit more talking. I will show you the equipment that I have, and I want to make sure that everyone has received the equipment, make sure that our equipment matches.
Okay.
So we'll do that, and then we'll go over a little bit of breathing and posture. So it's not going to be too much actual work, just basically kind of introduction, getting into everything, and starting out, you know, nice and easy.
Okay.
So if you have your equipment, let me ask you this: the resistance bands. Well, let me ask this first: did everyone receive their equipment?
Yes.
Yes. The resistance bands that you guys have. Do you have these with the handles, or is it just one long loop like this?
It's one long loop.
One long loop, so it's no actual handles with the bands.
No.
Okay. I didn't know what ones they sent you, so I wanted to make sure. Now, do you guys have these loops too, the little circle loops?
Yes.
You have the circle loops too? Okay, perfect. So you have these long bands and then the circle ones.
Regina?
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Hi, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but
No
I
problem.
have a question about those bands. Are they made out of latex?
They are. Do you have latex allergies?
I do.
Okay, so that's something that you would want to, when you're first enrolling, you would want to let know that you needed a latex-free band, because most likely they are going to be made out of latex. Let me confirm that right now. And that is a wonderful question. I get that a lot. So thank you so much for asking that before you mess with the bands too much. We don't want you touching them if you have latex injury.
They make for a very exciting class.
Very, very much.
Short, but very short.
Yeah, we don't want that much excitement. That's not the kind of excitement that we want right now. So yeah, I'm going to make a note to confirm that. And if so, then we may need to get you another band out. So thank you so much for asking about that. Now, I don't want to waste too much more of our time. I'm going to go ahead and just get started. And then if anyone else joins us late, they're just going to have to be late.
Okay.
All right, so just making sure I'm getting all the attendance here. Now, one thing I did want to let you guys know, if you're ever not going to be able to make it to class, if you will just send me a message and let me know, and that way I can be prepared for that. Oh, and you know what? I just got confirmation. They should be latex free. So yay. Perfect. They're prepared. They're prepared. I know most of the bands that I get, like I just get them at Amazon or, you know, Walmart or whatever, and I know they're latex. But they got you the good bands. So yay. Those are the good ones. Let's see. What was I saying? Oh, now another thing, if there's ever a time that you are going to have to be kind of multitasking, I know how life gets sometimes if you have to work or you're at a kid's baseball game or something like that, feel free. I would rather you just have your camera off and have mute and trying to multitask than not come to class at all. Because sometimes, you know, you may just, you know, like I said, multitask and you can still get a lot of great information. So please always feel free, you know, I won't take it offensive if you are here, but you have your camera off because you're doing something else. I'd rather have you that way than just not be here. But if you know that you can't be here, then yeah, please definitely let me know. Okay, and then I'm gonna leave the mutes off. If you guys want to mute yourself because you have crazy kids or dogs in the background, feel free to. But I want this to be, you know, as much as I'm talking, I want you guys to talk right back. If I ask a question, I love it when I get feedback, so I'm not talking to myself. So always feel free, as long as it's not too much. I definitely want to hear your feedback, and that way you can ask questions and everything. So if you feel that you need to hit mute, you do that, because I'm gonna let you go. Now, just a little bit about myself. I am originally from Muncie, Indiana. I moved to Dallas, Texas in 2006. The only exercise that I had experience with growing up was in JRTC. And that exercise was not fun, and I did not like it. So I really did not exercise growing up at all. When I became pregnant, I got close to 300 pounds, and I thought, when I had the baby, I was just gonna lose the weight naturally, and it was just gonna, disappear, and that did not happen. So luckily, I found a boot camp class, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the competition, I just fell in love with fitness in general, and I loved the way it made me feel, and I wanted to kind of spread that joy to others. So after my second son was born, and I felt like I was basically paying for daycare. I would work and go home, and it was just, like I said, paying for daycare. And it was my husband that gave me the motivation to quit corporate America and start doing what I love to do. So when I decided to do that, I quit corporate America in April of 2014. I went to Cooper Institute in May, and I became certified. In July, I launched my business, Personal Changes Training. I also became a certified functional aging specialist in 2018, a silver sneaker instructor in 2019, and that's where I met my angel Glenda. She was the one that really introduced me to adaptive fitness, and she made me see that this was the population that I wanted to serve, and that I felt really needed a trainer like me. So I partnered with an organization called Power to Move. Their mission is to, Their mission is to keep people moving. So that's where I gained a lot of my clients with different disabilities. I became an AdaptX fitness specialist in 2022, and then an American College Sports Medicine inclusive fitness specialist last year. I love training everyone of all ages and abilities, but my favorite clients are those that do not like exercise, because I kind of feel like that's my specialty on making exercise fun for everybody. Oh, we got someone else joining us. Hold on one second. And welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Let me get you tracked in here. Awesome. All right. So we're going to just keep on moving right along here. So first off, I wanted to make sure everyone did receive my email, correct? With the welcome email, you guys got that? Well, yeah. Thank you for those that did reply back to me. I did put 2 questions. So if you did not get a chance to read that email, please do so. And then if you would like to, you can respond back to me and answer those 2 questions. The other thing I wanted to make sure you guys have is your Healthy app. Did anyone have any issues with loading that and getting that set up?
And that's an app we can put on our phones, or is that something we have to pull up on a computer?
You can actually do both. I personally like the computer version better. I feel like it's easier to navigate, but for those of you that are just easier with your phone, it has an app as well. In the email that I sent, I put the link that you can get for the computer version. So for the phone version, you can just go to your app store and it's Get Healthy. Or no, it's just Healthy. I'm sorry, for the app is Healthy.
Okay.
And it looks like this. I don't know if you can see that little symbol right there.
Oh, I think I have that.
Oh, well, there you go. So that app is amazing. It's the best way that you can communicate. That's how you get the link to sign on here. So yeah, you had to have it to sign on here. And that's also where you can schedule the one-on-ones. And we'll talk more about scheduling the one-on-ones in just a moment. Let's see, what else did I want to go over? So the mentor program, so it stands for Mindfulness, Exercise, and Nutrition to Optimize Resilience. I love that acronym, and I think it's just perfect for us. So a couple things that I want to go over as far as what you can expect. So most days we're going to start out by reviewing what we did last time, and I'm going to ask, if there's any questions, concerns, make sure everyone is good to go with what we did last time before we move on. And then let's see what else. So I'm always going to start with the basic move, and if you feel comfortable, then we can try a little bit more advanced and a little bit more advanced, but I'll always start with that basic move. Don't worry if you have to miss any classes. Sometimes, I understand it's not going to work for everyone's schedule all the time. Like I was saying earlier, just to kind of reiterate, if you ever need to, you can always, sign on and just keep your camera off if you're trying to multitask or you feel more comfortable. I don't mind having cameras off. I'm fine with that. Was there a question? No? Okay, just making sure, no questions. But yeah, if you're not able to be here, please just send me a message. Let me know that you're not able to be here. And then if you're not able to be here, we will always send out resources. So you'll always have extra videos that you can watch, because my goal is for you not to just work out with just me these 2 days. I want you to work out, several days. So we're going to definitely send you the resources and the videos and everything to be able to do that on your own as well. So some things that you're going to need for class, of course, space, the equipment we're going to go over, your healthy app, water, comfy clothes, possibly a chair, and of course, a positive attitude. The equipment. Now, we were talking about the equipment a little bit before, and you guys mentioned that the bands that you have are the long bands, and I'm going to show you guys this again. So you guys have these bands that are, thank you, Susan, latex free. So we have these bands here, and then also you should have these loops as well. So we're going to use these.
I didn't get the loop.
You didn't receive the small loop?
I don't think so, unless I lost.
Okay, well, check again and make sure, but I will make a note of that we may need to get another loop out for you.
Okay.
Missing loop. But yeah, look again just to make sure, because they should. Let's see, what else should you have received? Did everyone receive one of a ball? And again, it may look a little different than mine, but you should have like a small little Pilates ball. Do you guys get the little balls? Let's see. You should. Let's see. Okay. Oh, and the wrist weights. So here's an example of the wrist weights that I have. Your wrist weights may look a little different. Did everyone get the wrist weights? Perfect. Okay, so we got the wrist weights. Let's see, what was the other ones? Where'd it go? Wrist weights, the resistance bands. Oh, your peddler. Did everyone receive a peddler?
Yes.
Okay, we got the peddler. And the other thing you should have received is a little stability disc. And again, mine I'm sure looks different than yours.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Oh, and of course the water bottle. This is my own water bottle.
Yeah.
But I heard water and I was like, oh, I need a drink. Okay, so besides the loops that Linda's missing, is there any other equipment that you guys do not have? Oh, and the sliders. That was the other thing. Little sliders.
I got those. I got pretty much everything.
Perfect.
What do the little sliders look like?
So can someone else show the sliders? I don't have sliders. I use paper plates or towels. I'll use towels on my hardwood floors, and then I'll use paper plates when I'm using carpet. So I don't have any of the actual sliders. Or do I? I didn't bring them up here with me. Does anyone else have a slider they can show? It should just be like a little circle disc looking thing.
Circle disc?
Let's see. Yep, there we go.
Yes.
Yes. So do you...
Let me see. Can I see that?
Mm-hmm.
Sliders. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Put it upside down. I think I had it upside down. Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
It should have came in your box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. There you go.
Yeah, I got those.
Perfect. Perfect. And welcome. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I sure was getting ready to call you. And I was looking and I was like, I don't see it.
No, she it's the company's on her name. But anyway, yeah,
I gotcha.
I wasn't set up originally on it. Like I didn't have a link.
Okay, well, I'm glad. Better late than never. I am so glad that you are here. You didn't really miss too much. We're just going over the equipment right now.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure you did receive that.
The other day.
Okay, perfect. So you if there's anything that's missing, you let me know. But I think it should be good. Did you find those loops yet?
No.
No?
I have this. Are those weights?
Those are probably the wrist weights.
Oh, okay. In the box.
Does anyone have the loops they could show her? I don't know if that came in a separate box or how that would be packaged. But we can definitely, we'll look and just make sure, because I'll make sure you get those loops. If your box was missing those loops, Linda, we'll get those to you.
Okay.
Let's see.
And I'll continue to look also.
Perfect. I'm just getting everyone in here. Okay, there's Pete. Perfect. Okay, so moving right along, goals. So I would love, now like I said, when I sent the email out, I asked for 2 questions. So if you wanted to also, reply back and kind of go in a little bit more detail as far as what your goals are. I know a lot of people mention, improving flexibility, improving balance, which is something that we're all going to go through and, work on. But if there's anything else that is a little bit more specific that you want me to know about, please let me know. As far as my goal is to make you fall in love with fitness and stay safe. So the best way that you can stay safe is I want you to monitor your heart rate. And how we do that is by subtracting your age from 220 to get your max heart rate, and that's your rate perceived exertion. Another easy way you can do, the rate perceived exertion is a scale from 1 to 10. So you can kind of look and kind of ask yourself, you know what, I'm getting close to an 8 or a 9. I need to take it down a notch. So that would be the other way, because it's kind of hard sometimes. I love my Apple Watch that tells me my heart rate. So if you guys have any kind of monitor that you can put on that'll keep track of your heart rate, that's super easy. But another way, like I mentioned, is you can always take that 220, subtract it from your age, and that's going to get your max heart rate. And we never want to be at our very max level. We want to be closer to maybe that 7 is probably about the highest that I would want you to be at. During our workouts, we're always going to have a warm-up section and a cool-down section. So we're going to have what's called dynamic and static stretching. Now, your dynamic stretching is what we do at the beginning of your workout, and I kind of think of it like, it's like you're just kind of warning your body that you're getting ready to move. So you're going to kind of move. Those are the moving stretches, dusting off the cobwebs and getting the body ready. Your static stretches is what you're going to do at the end of the workout, and that's when you really want to hold the muscle, and that's when you're going to get those really good benefits of stretching. Speaking of benefits of exercise, let me go through this one. Whew. Increased physical fitness and cardiovascular endurance, muscle strength, flexibility, bone health, metabolism, weight management, improved functional abilities such as balance transfers, activities of daily living, walking and mobility, managing or preventing health problems such as spasticity, diabetes, and hypertension. Significant benefits for mental health, including improved cognitive functions, focus, sleep quality, and reduced anxiety and depression. To name a few of the many benefits of exercise. Our CDC exercise recommendations are 150 minutes of moderate aerobic exercise and 2 days of muscle strengthening activities each week. Now you have your aerobic and your anaerobic exercises. Your aerobic is going to be the continuous oxygen-fueled rhythmic like walking or dancing. Your aerobic are those short bursts of movements fueled by energy stored in your muscles. Another term I want you to be familiar with is FIT, and that's frequency, intensity, time, and type. So your frequency is how often you're doing it. Your intensity is the level of how hard you're working. Your time is how the duration of your exercise, and then the type is the type of exercise. Now, a couple signs that you want to pay attention to that you need to kind of take a break. Like I mentioned, we never want you to be at a 10 on your 1 to 10 scale. So if you're ever feeling dizzy, lightheaded, you're not able to get a good breath in, if you're having chest pain, or you just know your heart rate is too high, sit down, take a minute. My number one rule I think I mentioned is listen to your body more than you listen to me. This is your workout. My job is to push you, and I am pushy. So your job is to know how far to let me push you. So never do something that you don't feel comfortable with, because I have 100 different other kind of modifications. Some exercises aren't going to look the same. My arm reach is going to look different than your arm reach. And so is all the people in the class. We're all on that different level. So never feel that you're comparing or that you're not doing as good, because you're comparing yourself with you, and that's it. So just remember, your workout is exactly that, your workout. Last thing I have to go over is a couple of any questions you have is, well, hold on, let me ask you this first. One-on-ones. I know a lot of people might not want to schedule a one-on-one. You may think like you're bothering me, or, oh, she probably doesn't have time for it. And I want you to not think like that. The one-on-one time is, I personally love that. I'm a personal trainer first and foremost, so I love being able to work with people individually and get that personal relationship. I love being able to talk and kind of find out how I can help you more, and the best way to do that is a one-on-one. Now, obviously, I can't do one-on-ones with everyone every single week, but I definitely want you to take advantage of that and schedule one-on-one time with me, especially if you have questions with some of the exercises, if you missed a few days, or you're like, hey, this isn't working for me. What can we do to work the same muscle in a different way? And I would love to meet with you one-on-one. Now, I don't have, I'm sorry, what were you going to say? Did you have a question? No? Okay. I was just going to say on the...
I had a question.
Okay.
So, I did not have it that we scheduled today. I have normally I go to do training at a gym near my house, like 2 or 3 days a week. Today is kind of weird. We have I'm calling from Louisiana. We have a hurricane coming through right now.
Okay.
You know, but anyway, so I had this, since I had this all set up and stuff like that, I had to, like, on one of these days, like today, I had where I was going to training today, which was before this. Is that a good or bad thing?
Personally, I would say what we're doing on our Tuesdays, Thursdays is all you need to do for that day. I don't want to mess up your training schedule, but I feel like if you're doing 2 trainings in one day, that might be a bit much. I would rather see you do your training, your additional training on a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Okay. If you're able to adjust that and make those adjustments, I definitely would, because I want to get you at your 100%, not when you've already been training. Okay. And then the other thing I was just going to mention, now I don't have my this week's availability listed. But what you can do is we can always just set up a time through the chat. I'll go back and I'll put my availability, and you can look when you go to the Healthy app and you can see my availability, and you can kind of click and schedule that. But you can also just, send me a message and we'll figure out a time, because sometimes my times just kind of change. So if you're flexible with me, I can be flexible with you, but I do love scheduling those one-on-one times, and that is definitely an option always.
What do you mean? You mean like instead of this?
Not necessarily instead of this, in addition to, because I know there's a lot of people that may, have different injuries that they're like, look, I can't do this, so, can you show me individually, how I can modify? So that would, one-on-one would be good for that time, or if you need, just additional assistance with something.
Okay.
Any other questions? I know that was a lot of things that I have to cover. Did you guys have any other questions before we move on?
I have a question.
As far as the mobility of my right hand, I cannot use it. Are these exercises going to be beneficial to me?
Oh, everything is going to be beneficial to you. There are a lot of the exercises we'll do maybe like 1 in 1, so you can work that right side, and your right side, you may be able to get that range of motion all the way here. Well, hold on, you said it's your right side affected, right?
The right side affected, I can't move.
Okay. So you can't use at all?
No.
Okay. So you're just going to use just that left hand. Now, something I will say is the term muscle activation. That's something that I normally don't talk about until later on. but I want to just kind of let you know that even though with your right side, you may not be able to really move your arm, but you think that it's the thought that counts sometimes, but just thinking about it, squeezing it, even if you're not able to really push and extend your right arm, you're physically thinking about it and, you know, using that muscle, and that muscle is still firing. So even though you don't see it working, trust me, that muscle is still working.
Okay.
And I know we had a new one. Were you going to say something else? I'm sorry.
I said I wanted to know if that was going to be beneficial to me. Should I not just do the one-on-one?
Definitely. And like I said, that one-on-one, you don't have to do one-on-ones. It's just if you want to take a little additional time. I just want to always offer my services, because that's the thing I want you guys to know is I'm here for you. So if there's any time that you need a little bit of extra time, I got it for you. Okay. But again, you don't have to.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, definitely. All right. Any other questions before we start talking about breathing? Nope. Okay. So we're going to move on. And actually, before we talk about breathing real quick, I'm going to talk about my most favorite muscle to work, and that's our core. Our core is core. And it's so important that we work it, and it's pretty easy to work it if you think about it. So I want to do what I call just core contractions. So I want you to take and I want you to squeeze your core, and we're going to release it. So I'm using my hands right here because you can't see, but my abs, they're squeezing just like this. So when we take a breath in, I want you to really squeeze your core and release it. And when I say squeeze or contract your core, you know that feeling like you're about to cough or laugh, or maybe someone's getting ready to hit you in the belly and you gotta brace and get ready? That's what I mean by that. So if you can, I want you guys to join me and we're gonna take a breath in, and then we're gonna squeeze and contract and then release. So contract, pulling your belly in, feeling that squeeze in your belly, and then release it. Let's do it again. Ready? And contract, squeeze, 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 and release. One more time. And contract and squeeze, 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 and release. Now, could everyone feel the difference in their belly when you were contracting and squeezing? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Okay, great. So I wanted to kind of preview that. Now we're going to talk a little bit about breathing. Now, breathing, it's something that we all do. But do we do it correctly? That's the thing. So when it comes to breathing, first thing, let me tell you this. It all starts with breathing. The more oxygen that you can take in, the better. That means the more oxygen is going to be delivered to your organs, your vessels. It's going to lower your blood pressure because it's, you know, your veins or vessels are opening, but more oxygen that flows through the body, the better. So we want as much oxygen flowing through our body, getting into our organs and everything as we possibly can. Now, the two types of breathing, you have your nasal breathing and your diaphragmic breathing, and both are good. The nasal breathing is basically you're just keeping your mouth closed. You're inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your nose. Now this one is hard for me because it's hard to keep my mouth closed on that. It's hard for me to keep my mouth closed. But nasal breathing is really good. And when you're doing your nasal breathing, normally you're at a lower or maybe a moderate intensity level. It's not as hard. As soon as you feel like you have to open your mouth to really get that breath, that's when you're probably switching to a little higher intensity and you're going into that diaphragmic breathing. So I want to kind of practice just a little bit, and we're going to start with just our nasal breathing at first. And we're just going to go just to inhale, and then we're going to exhale. And I'm just doing my hand gestures because I have to talk and breathe with my hands. Ready? Let's do that again. Inhale and exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. Very good. Now I'm going to make this just a smidge harder for you. I want us to hold it for about 3 to 4 seconds if you can. If it's too long to hold, then don't. But we're going to inhale and we're going to hold that oxygen in our lungs. and then we're gonna hold it and we're gonna slowly exhale, okay? So we're gonna inhale for about 3 to 4 seconds, hold for about 3 to 4 seconds, and exhale to 3 to 4 seconds. And I'm gonna tell you right now, as we go through this, I'm gonna try to extend that exhale time a little bit longer. I'm gonna be sneaky about, well, I just told you, so I'm not too sneaky, but I'm gonna try to sneak in a little bit longer exhale time, because that's really showing that control when you can exhale a little bit longer, okay? So remember, just hold it in a second. Here we go. We're gonna take a big breath in. Inhale. Hold it right here. And exhale. Good. Ready? Inhale for 4. Hold. Exhale. Good. One more time, and we're going to really exhale longer. Here's our inhale. Holding. And exhale. Good job. Breathe normal for a moment. Now we're going to switch to that diaphragmic breathing. Another reason why I like diaphragmic breathing is I can really see that breath. When you're doing a lot of exercises, for some reason, a lot of people like to hold their breath. So when I see that exhale, I know you're breathing and you're not holding your breath on me. So let's go ahead, let's do that again, but this time go ahead and open up your mouth when you're exhaling, okay? So here we go, diaphragmic breathing. Inhale for 4, holding, and exhale. Very good. And inhale, holding, and exhale. Good. One more time. Big breath in. Hold it. And exhale.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Good job. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns on that? What'd you guys think?
Pretty good.
Yeah? Okay. So that's something that I really like to practice. Just deep breathing, it's so good for us. You know, when we feel like we're getting a little anxious or whatever, you know, take a moment, close your eyes, and do some deep breathing exercises. Really, really helps just getting that oxygen flowing and everything. No more questions? And then, oh, one more thing I was going to say. The most important thing is that you are breathing. Like I said, a lot of us like to hold our breath. So as long as you're breathing, inhaling and exhaling, that's the most important part. Now, when you're doing your exercises, I always say you want to exhale at the exertion, at the hard part. So for instance, like when you're doing push-ups, for instance, when you're here, you're going to exhale. So you're inhaling here, that's kind of easy, but when you push your body up, I always think it's like the breath that's helping you, and that's the hard part of the move. That's when you want to exhale. Some people get those backwards, and really it's okay. Like I said, the most important part is that you are breathing, inhaling and exhaling. But if you can, I feel like it makes it a little easier when you exhale at that hard part. So always keep breathing. So no questions on our breathing? Nope. All right. So we're going to move right on to our posture. Now, a little bit about posture. It's going to help reduce the risk of injury. It helps balance and it helps with stability. It's going to help or eliminate, reduce your fatigue in your neck, your shoulders, shoulder blades, back and hips. Now, the thing is, I want you guys to think about, again, like I said, it's all a balance thing. So if we have our muscle is placed on both sides of our bone, so say this is your bone and you got a muscle here and you got a muscle here on both sides of it. So if you have one muscle that's always a little bit shorter, that other one always has to be longer. And that's not fair. It's almost like they're kind of fighting a little bit. So when you're always like this, your muscle is kind of shorter on this side. So we need to balance it out. In everything in life, we need balance, especially with our posture. So I have a 4-point checklist to help you with your posture I want us to go over. So the first thing is going to be our head tilt. Now our head, we want to basically have it at jaw level. So jaw right here. We're not down here looking down. We don't have our neck over here twisted to the side. I want you to always think about having your jaw level, okay? Next thing is going to be our shoulder alignment, or basically you can think of your ears over your shoulders, stacking. Like I said earlier, a lot of us come to this protracted position. It's so easy because we're like this or like this so much of the day. So it's very easy to be in that protracted position with our shoulders. So something, I don't know, do I have any other fellow Texans? I'm from Texas. No other Texans? You guys are going to be Texans today. A saying that I love is be a tall Texan. In Texas, we're tall Texans. So we're going to pull those shoulders back and we're going to be tall Texans. Growing up, my poor mother, she's 5 foot, I'm 5'10". She would always yell at me about being slouching, and she'd say, stand up tall, be proud. And I tell you guys, when you're up in this position, it's like, one, you lose 5 pounds instantly, but you just get this confidence, you look better, you're up straight. So anytime you can think about it, tell yourself, I'm gonna be a tall Texan, and get those shoulders back. The next thing, of course, keeping our core tight, but it's really our hip alignment. So this really, really helps me. When you are standing, or even when you're sitting, I want you to think that from your top of your ribs to the bottom of your thighs is a bowl of water. And you cannot spill your bowl of water. You've got to keep it centered. And I'm gonna stand up so I can show you. I'm so bad about this. But when I stand up, a lot of times I like to stand like this. And look, there goes all my water with my hips not stacked. So we want to make sure that our hips are centered and stacked. And you can do that even when you're sitting, making sure that your shoulders are back and your hips are stacked. Now, last thing, if you can, I want you to really push your feet down into the floor. That's your base of support. That's our 4th checkpoint. So almost thinking like you have a screwdriver in your heels and you want to press those heels down to the floor. Again, whether you're standing, whether you're sitting, you need to have that base of support as much as you can. Now, I don't know, do we have any individuals that has their ankles kind of like to roll out? Is that an issue with anybody? Yeah? Something that you can do, they have braces that you can put that kind of help stabilize your ankle so your ankle's not rolling over. You can keep your ankle here. Another one is the foot drop. That happens a lot. They have, and if you want me to, I know there's a link on Amazon. It's just like a band and it has like a little string that helps get your shoe and helps pull your shoe up a little bit. There's all kinds of different little gadgets and things. Like I said, if you want to, I can send that link out. Or you can, anywhere has different little bands that you can kind of put just to keep your ankle stable, your foot in place the best that we can. Of course, it happens sometimes that we're not able to get that full function, but there are a lot of different little things that we can do to try to correct our posture the best that we can. So again, 4-point checklist: jaw level, shoulders stacked, hips are aligned, and you have your base of support. So all the time, that's what I want you thinking of. Before we start with anything, let's do our posture 4-point checklist. Head tilt, shoulder stacked, hips stacked, base of support. Any questions with that? No? Okay, we're gonna move right along. Now, I wanna go over a few stretches. Like I mentioned, in the beginning of our workout, we will do a few dynamic stretches, and then in the end, we're gonna do a few static stretches. So what I wanna do, I wanna incorporate our dynamic stretches with a little bit of breathing, okay? So we're gonna get into that perfect position right here with our 4-point checklist, and we're nice and tall. And the first thing I wanna do, we're gonna start from top to bottom, and we're just gonna do some neck rolls. Now, like with any move, if this bothers you, do not do it. Listen to your body more than you listen to me. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll my neck, and I'm just gonna roll it in a circle as I inhale. And then I'm gonna exhale the other way. All right, so let's do that together. Ready? Let's inhale, a little neck roll here, and then we get ready to go the other way, we're gonna exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Good, let's do that again. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, we'll do it one more time. Last time for real. Roll it this way. Inhale. And exhale. Very good. Now let's roll our shoulders. We're gonna inhale and exhale. Now I only really roll my shoulders backwards. I don't do too much shoulder rolls forwards because like I said, we spend so much time in that protracted position with our shoulders going forward anyway. What I like to do is I like to really open up my chest. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my arms out here and I'm gonna inhale and open, open, open. Ooh, that feels nice. And then we're gonna exhale and we're gonna close. Let's do it again. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. One more time. And close. Very nice. And rest and breathe a moment. Okay. All right, next one, we're gonna get those arms right back out and we're gonna lean just a little bit, as much as you feel comfortable, and we're gonna lean to this side, inhale, and then we're gonna exhale over here to this side. And you twist as much as you feel comfortable. Or actually, this is a lean. We'll do a twist in a second. So here's our lean this way. And then we're gonna lean this way. Let's do that again. Inhale, leaning this way. And exhale this way. Inhale here. And exhale here. Very good. Now let's do that twist that I was talking about. So again, you can have your arms out, you can put them in here, whatever you feel comfortable. I want you to do just a little twist over here to this side. And then let's twist over here to this side. We're gonna inhale over here this way. And then we're gonna exhale over here this way. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale one more time this way. And exhale this way. Very nice. And rest. All right, I got one more move I almost forgot that I wanted to do for our shoulders. So again, this is one that a lot of us are gonna have a different range of motion, but I want us to do a little swimming, and we're gonna swim backwards. So I want you to take your arm. Now when you reach, I want you to try to get your arm as close to your ear as you can, keeping your shoulder down. So we're gonna inhale with one arm, and then we'll exhale with that other arm. So inhale and exhale. Trying to lead with your pinky as much as you can and keeping that shoulder down. Feels good just to reach, 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 reach. Very nice. And again right here, inhale and exhale. Last time, inhale and exhale. Very good. And shake it all off. All right. Now I want to go back to our core contractions, really using that breath. Now that we understand the breath, the breathing that we were talking about and the core contractions that we were talking about, and I want to put those together now. So we're just going to inhale, and then we're going to exhale, and we're going to really contract. Feel your belly button pull in. Exhale, exhale. Ready? Let's do that again. And inhale. And exhale, contract, contract, contract. Keep squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. And release it. Ready? Let's inhale. And exhale, contract, squeeze, contract, contract, contract. And inhale. And contract. Pull that belly button in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And we're going to do it one more time like this. Inhale. And exhale, squeeze, contract. Very nice. Any questions on that? Any comments, questions, anything? You guys are quiet. You don't have any questions for me. I'm not used to that.
This is a lot.
Uh-huh.
This is a lot. This is a good workout.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, I looked you up before you told me you were from Texas.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm originally from Indiana, so you missed my little spiel that I was talking. I would kind of shared a little bit more about me. But I'm originally from Indiana, but I've been in Texas since 2006. So I don't know. I'm kind of a Texan now. I feel like I have to claim it. Yep. Any other questions though? I love that you guys said that this was a hard workout. I feel like the core contractions is a workout, something that you guys can be doing all the time. Because it's like we were talking about muscle activation, and I'm going to talk about that again because I think we had a few latecomers, and I just think it's such a great point. Because there's going to be a lot of us that we just don't move as good on one side as the other. You know, I know we have a lot that that we have no use of one side, and I have that with a few of my clients. And I always say it's the thought that counts. Muscle activation is so important. So as we go through in the weeks and the coming up, when we're really, really working, really squeezing those muscles, that's what matters so much. It's working smarter, not harder. You don't have to lift 100-pound weights and do this. I see it all the time at the gym. Let me do my impression right here. You see this big meathead guy, and he's doing this with the bicep curls. And I want to say, stop. It's too heavy. You're going to hurt yourself. What's harder is to go slower with more control. And I tell that to clients all the time, and they want to say, oh, I can lift that. And I'm like, okay, well, let's just do it slow. Let's just do it slow. It's harder to do the moves slower because you have to really think about it. And the more you think about it, even though your arm, you know, it's not letting you get that full extension, just the thought that you're thinking about it, you're squeezing it, you can look and you can see your muscle contracting even when you can't move it. So a lot of times you are still working your muscle, even though it doesn't seem like it's a big move. That muscle activation is so important and so serious. So that's what I want us to always focus on, even if we're not getting, you know, the full extension up here. Just that is working. What were you gonna say? Oh, you didn't have a question?
No, I didn't have a question.
Oh, okay. Anyone else? Any other questions? I want to make sure we have plenty of time for questions, comments, concerns, anything else you want to discuss. No?
Question.
Okay, awesome.
I do have a question.
Oh, okay.
Do I need a mat? Or we're going to be doing exercises on the floor?
So we will eventually get to the floor. Now I'm going to have options. I'll start with sitting options, and then we'll move to a standing option, and then we can move to the floor options. So you don't have to ever get on the floor if you don't feel comfortable. I will come up with moves that we can do sitting, and you can stay sitting. But if you're able to get on the floor and you want to try to, yes, most definitely. Now this room that I'm in, it's carpeted, so I probably won't mess with getting a mat. If I go downstairs on where my hardwood floor is, then I probably would use a mat, but you never have to get on the floor. We'll have other types of modifications and things that you can deal with, or that you can do, that you won't have to get on the floor if you don't want to. But there are lots of other fun things that we'll do that you can get on the floor if you're able to. It's all what you're able to do and what you feel comfortable with doing. I'm never going to make you do something that you don't feel comfortable with. And I'll try to give you as many options as you can, because it's really about working the muscle. There's 100 different exercises that you can do to work that muscle, and my main focus is working that muscle, whether it's this way or that way or that way. We're going to find a way that works for you. And that's why I say that might be when we want to do one-on-ones, where we can spend some, you know, serious one-on time. If it's, you know, a concern for you, something that you're not able to do, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We may not have as much time during the class time right in that moment, but that's when the one-on-one time will be beneficial. We can kind of figure out what does work for you. Okay. Any other questions? I'm going to do one of my stretches. If everyone's okay, we're going to sit down. If everyone's okay with just leaning, and we're going to stretch out our legs. Last thing I want you to do, and I'm going to move my camera down just a little bit here, and we're going to just take our hands and we're just going to slide down our leg and just reach. Now again, you don't have to go low. You just slide down as low as you feel comfortable. And we're just going to feel that little nice fun stretch in the back of our legs. And making sure you're not pushing on your knee. If you can't reach to your calf, you stay up here on your hamstring. I never want you putting pressure on your actual kneecap. So we're going to hold this. Now, most of our stretches are going to be 30 seconds. You want it to be at least 30 seconds for it to really get a good effect. I always say it takes about 30 seconds for your muscles to realize what's going on. So we're just going to hold this and breathe. We'll do it for about 5 more seconds. Reach, reach, reach.
It's hard to see what you're doing.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't have my screen down. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So yep, just keep on reaching. We'll go extra 5 seconds just so I know you can see me now. And then when you're ready, go ahead, release that, bring that leg back up, and then we're gonna get this other leg, make sure you see. And I'm just straightening that leg, and then I'm just gonna slide down to where I feel a stretch. Everyone can see me now?
Yes.
Okay,
That's
good.
great.
Good, good, good. So we're just gonna hold this, and again, like I said, about 30 seconds. Stretching, I always say, is comfortably uncomfortable. You would never, ever, ever want it to hurt, but you need to feel it so you feel it. If you're not feeling it, then it's not really working.
Feel it.
And this you should be feeling in the back of your legs here. And then I'm going to show you my last favorite stretch that I love to do because I just feel like it does so good. We're going to take our hands like this here, and then we're going to cross one arm over. And then this other arm is going to come up like this. Now I have it on the other side of my elbow. If you can, great. If not, you're going to come here. Whatever you can do, but I want you to kind of pull that arm close to you, keeping your shoulder down, and you should feel this stretch right here. Has everyone got it? Looks like we do. Good.
This is fiery.
I'm sorry?
This is fiery. This is something else.
It's, what do you mean it's firing?
I have left side, I can't think of the word, paralysis.
Uh-huh.
So my spasticity, I'm stretching it and it's on fire.
Then you are done. You're not going to do anything else with that. Yeah, once you mention that S word, we're done. We are done. If you can, we're going to get this other side. And you know, that's a great point, listening to your body. So anytime you feel that, then you have stretched enough.
Okay.
So that's a great point. That's why I say listen to your own body. And we're just pulling, keeping our shoulder down. And again, you should feel a stretch, but it should never hurt, especially the sharp shooting pains. Those are the pains we really want to stay away from. And the fiery burning pains, like the spasticity stretching.
I have a question about the fiery burning.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and release that, guys. Shake that out.
How can you, is there a way to get past that other than, like when I'm working out and sometimes I do certain workouts, it is, the sharp pain is so bad that I have to catch my breath.
Then you need to listen to your body and stop. Take a break and let your body kind of calm down until you move on to the next one. Now you could possibly, if you're feeling that fire in your arm, maybe you need to move on to work some legs or, you know, another muscle group and let that particular muscle group rest, and then try to come back to it when you're ready. Now, we can talk more, like if you wanted to do a one-on-one, we could definitely talk more and I can give you a couple tips to help with spasticity and everything. But it's, again, listening to your body. And then that just made me think of something. I tell this to my clients all the time. Your workout does not have to be 60-minute block just like this. If you need to take, say, maybe 15, 20 minutes here, 15, 20 minutes here, 15, 20 minutes like that, and break it up. If that's what works for your body, if you're noticing that you're feeling that painfulness, and it's like after about 10, 15 minutes, then maybe you need to cut your workout short and just have a couple extra segments into it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. But excellent question. Any last questions before we end today? No? Well, if you guys think of any other questions, you have my information. Do not hesitate. Send me a message. Let me know if you have any questions, anything that I can help you with. Like I said, I am here for you. I will see you guys on Thursday, same time, same channel, Thursday at 6. And then, like I said, if you're not able to meet, please let me know. And then you can always, if you need to, have your cameras off. I'd rather you do that than just not show. But yeah, I can't think of any other things that I wanted to go over or tell you. So unless you guys have anything else for me, I'll let you get back to your evening.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good evening.
Thank you so much.
See you guys on Thursday.
See you guys Thursday.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting. Did you guys have any other questions before I end it?
No other questions.
Okay. I'm hanging up on you then.
Hang up. Bye.
Have a good night. We'll see you Thursday. Bye.
Bye.